Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the HEMA Pandemic Livestream series. Today we're going to be working on launching an attack with a punta, with a thrust, but knowing that it's going to be covered with the idea of closing distance into half sword. Now the master and all the masters say half sword is much safer to do in armor than out of armor because of the risk to our fingers. But there are ways that you can do it in armor, or there are ways that you can do it out of armor that will allow you to move in and control your adversary. And that's what we're going to look at today. But before we do that, I want to look at the guards. So the first guard we have, we'll start, let's talk about the grip to start off with. So this time you're holding your sword hilt, your handle, in a hammer grip. And you're holding your point so it's about the length of your forearm. And that's approximate. So about approximately the length of your forearm. That's going to be our grip to start off with. With your left foot forward, point our hands up so you're looking just underneath your sword. Left foot forward, we're going to call, this is called upper serpent. If we drop our hands down, we have lower serpent. Upper serpent, lower serpent. Don't do what I was just doing, which is bending your head. Keep your head upright and your arms go up above it. I was getting lazy. Don't do that, because if you are doing this in armor, the weight of your helmet, the movement of the armor, it's going to impede what you can and can't do. So you definitely want to make sure that your back is upright. Upper serpent, left foot forward, point forward. Lower serpent, left foot forward, point forward. Step forward. This is called, now we have right foot forward, pommel forward, and sword down. This is called bastard cross. It should be a little bit wider. Bastard cross. If we take the lead foot and step out, so we're looking over the right shoulder at our opponent, this is true cross. Bastard cross, true cross. And that's the difference. When we look at the manuscript illustrations, here we have true cross. And with true cross, you can see how his left foot is out and he's looking over his right shoulder. I'm going to add this illustration to the video when I edit it. So once again, upper serpent, lower serpent, bastard cross, true cross. And you want to keep your hand out just a little bit. In true cross, you'll notice that the armpit is open. And that is something to take into account, because if you're doing this in armor, that's one of the few places that you can stab them to do the job. But because John understands that, he's opening up that line, inviting that attack, if he's starting in this guard. We, however, are not going to start in this guard. Go into open iron door, please.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to start in woman's guard. Don't do anything. I'm going to do, it's going to look like a fendente into a punta, into long guard, right at the throat. I'm going to go on this side of you.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go dead center, so move.
Tilt out the way.
Ready?
Ready.
So I come down, and that's how deep I'm putting it into his body. But I know he's going to defend that. Go ahead and defend it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what he's going to do. Do it with a pulsativa.
Okay.
So he's knocking it over. But I know that's something that he likes to do. So what I'm going to do is, as I begin this action, as I come to here, no, you're going too fast.
Thank you.
As I'm coming through, I'm going to roll up to drive. I'm not going to be able to hit it. It's really not going to work at that speed. Go ahead and do it fast.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
So I'm just grabbing this here so that I've got the protection that I need. And now I've got my right foot forward, but if you remember, I had said that upper serpent has the left foot forward. That is because I've got one more step to make. I'm too far out of range to do anything with upper serpent. Let's go ahead and do that again. Let me check measure.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go for center.
Okay.
Not like that. Ready?
Ready.
Then I take that other step. Now I'm going to go to true cross. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm in here. I'm going to drive this down into his wrist and step out. So there's my true cross. You good?
Good.
All right, let's do that again. Checking measure. Good. Ready?
Ready.
Drive it down, and that just puts me right into true cross. Let's do it at this angle, so if you'll stand right there.
Here look good?
A little bit more this way. A little bit more. Perfect.
All right.
Checking measure.
Okay.
I'm going to go to this side this time.
This side? Got it.
Ready?
Ready.
So there's my attack coming in. He covers that. And now I'm in upper serpent. I take a strike forward, driving it down into his wrist. And there's my true cross, because let me get it out of there. That's where I ended up. And so this is how I'm going into true cross through this action. So I want you to do it to me.
Okay.
So nice and slow.
All right, check and measure. I'm going to go to this side here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that looks
Okay.
good to me.
Nice and slow. Too late.
Yep.
Now. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got to do something. So if you just stay there, I can knock that
You
to
can
the
knock the
side.
side.
But when you step forward, come up here with me.
Yeah.
His target, step back with your, no, there we go. So I'm here, I've closed that. As his point comes forward, it's driving right into my wrist. And it's okay if you stab him in the wrist. That works fine. Then, as soon as you've got it in, you're going to continue pushing this hand down. And this foot moves out. And that's how we're going to get that position. Now, I want to talk about moving your sword. When you are half swording, this is the closest thing that we have today for half swording is kayaking. Whether you're in a kayak or a canoe, you're sitting in there, you've got the double-headed paddle. If I put this paddle in the water and try to pull it back, it's now with my shoulder, I'm trying to move through that water and muscle my way through. It's not going to work. You're going to wear yourself out and potentially hurt yourself. So when I want this paddle, this side, to go back, I push this side forward. Then I lift this up. Now I have my point up high, my pommel's a little bit lower, and I don't pull my pommel back, I push my point forward. And that takes me back to upper serpent. I push my point forward, back to upper serpent. Push my point forward, back to upper serpent. So you can see how as you practice it, you'll notice that the hand that's going back is not doing anything. It's all the other hand doing it. And that's how you're going to get all of your core and all of your strength into this action. When you move in that way, you're putting all your body against their arm. And there's no way that they're going to be able to stop you. It's going to be even better because they're partly off balance. And let's look at how we get them off balance. I'm going to do it to you.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to throw the punta.
Okay.
Check and measure. I'm going to be on this side.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
There we go. Ready?
Ready.
Ah, I was just a little bit too late. Do it again. I'm here. Now, when I step forward, I'm not stepping at him because then I can stab, but he can just drop his point down and lift his pommel up, and he's closed that line off from me. And now he can do something. So I don't want to try to do anything from this position. Instead, let's do it again. Check and measure. This side. Again. Now, I'm going to go now.
Okay.
I step out, and look how much that moves him out of the way. And I'm trying to be very careful for two reasons. One, it works. And that's a lot of pressure on his wrist.
He's right on the interior here, and he's being really nice. Actually, he's going up a bit higher here, but it's right inside where the wrist bends, and that push, like kayaking, is just a lot of pressure right on that joint.
And it's forcing the joint to bend. That's how I'm breaking his structure.
I can't not have this happen.
If they're in armor, in this period, they're going to be wearing a pair of gauntlets, probably called hourglass gauntlets, which the cuffs flare out, which gives you this mobility with your wrist. But what that means is because the hourglass gauntlet sits at an angle like this, when you come in, it will sit right at the base of the cuff and force their arm to bend. Or you might even get it into their gauntlet, which I've seen happen. If they are not in armor, stab them in the arm. You put your point right through the two bones, they're going to go where you want them to go.
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree?
I would absolutely agree with that.
So let me just do it again. I'm going to check measure.
Okay.
This side.
Perfect.
Yeah, the middle's too close. Let me do it again, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that much better.
Felt even scarier.
So as I do this action, I'm coming through, and you'll notice I'm not letting my point go forward. Go ahead. Let's out of distance. Let's do it at speed. Ready?
Okay.
Look how I didn't commit my point, which is just dirty, 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 dirty tricks. So
I think there's a sharp pointy thing coming straight from my face right now, so I want to know.
in measure.
Yep.
Okay, checking measure. This side. Okay. Same speed. Ready?
Ready.
And I can just take it right there. And I paused because I don't want to hurt my friend. So this is how I can get in quick and tight and use a punta, a thrust, to get him to react the way I want him to react. And if he doesn't, I'll stab him in the throat. I'm okay with that too, or the face. So let's go real slow.
Okay.
Let's switch sides actually.
Sure.
And move just a little bit closer. I want to see more the hands than our bodies.
Got it. I'm going to create a little bit of space real
Yeah.
quick right now.
So as we're doing it, you're bringing it down and you're extending out your lead hand, but you're not moving your point forward, because if my point comes forward, his pulsativa action is going to set aside my blade. And Doug asks, what prevents your opponent from letting go with his right hand? Not a thing, Doug. But even if he lets go with his right hand, because I'm in the wrist, I still have control of his joint.
Demonstrate it?
Sure. Okay. Nice and slow. Check and measure. I'm going to go to this side.
Got it.
Ready?
Ready.
Now you'll notice he's leaning out of the way. That's because I'm going, don't move. Come back to center. Don't move. I'm not going to hit.
Got it.
I'm going for dead center at his face. Now lean. So I know, and he knows I'm on the correct line for this hit. All right, so let's do it again slow.
Okay.
You're going to do your pulsativas.
Got it.
I come down, I extend out, I come in here. I hook that and I pull back. Then I just lay my pommel across his chin.
And he's still grabbing my wrist very securely enough to pull me off balance.
If he has a gauntlet, it's going to lock him even better.
Yeah.
Is that hurting your shoulder?
No.
Okay.
I'm walking with it.
John just went to the chiropractor, so I'm making sure I don't have to send him back.
Focused right here.
So, this side,
Got it.
checking distance. Right to the ear, I like that. Go ahead and pulsativa.
All right.
Now look how, go ahead and release. Look how I'm just pulling that back. And actually, if he lets go, it makes it even easier to push my pommel down.
Let's just get you a really good visual on this right now. I
Actually,
want you to see.
before you do that,
connecting.
go up to the camera with your hand. So going as slow as we are, look at the lines on his arm.
Yeah, just see that right in there.
Here, come to this side so you don't need to try to torque your wrist.
Fun torquing there, yeah. All right. Can you see
right
those
in
lines
here.
right in there?
And that's without me putting much pressure on my point. Imagine if I did it with a thrust. We're going to go really, really, really slow.
You're going to go right there?
Oh, yeah.
Got it. You're welcome.
I love my job. Check-in measure, this side.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Ready?
Ready.
Now I'm in here. If I step forward, look how I'm driving my wrist onto his quillin, and I'm going right in between his arms. However, if I step to true cross, it just sits right there, and I just put it right through his wrist. If he's in armor, I'm going to hit that smooth plate and drive right through, or glide off that plate and go right through his arms. You okay?
Yeah.
So we've talked about this in previous classes. I am not aiming the point of my sword with my eyes. Your eyes will lie to you. They'll be slightly off, you'll be sweaty, you'll have sweat in your eyes, blood in your eyes. You don't know what's in your eyes. Dirt, wind, sun. You cannot afford to aim with your eyes. You aim with your body. And your step puts your point where you want it to go. Let's go and do it again, please.
Okay.
Same action. Checking measure.
All right. Am I still releasing?
Sure. So this side.
Got it?
Ready?
Ready.
Yeah. So now he does his pulsativa. I don't commit. I step forward. I step out. Look how that just catches that point right in. Let's switch sides.
Yeah.
This is devastating. Move here because I really want them to see your wrist.
This is really important part to see here.
Get a little closer because I'm going to be stepping in on you.
How's that?
Yeah, that should be good. Check-in measure. I'm going to be on this side.
Got it.
Yeah. Could be a little bit back. Check-in measure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's much nicer. Ready?
Ready.
No, don't let go already.
Yep.
Because I'm hooking there. And then I'm just pulling it back. Oh, sorry. The point falls right into place.
He is right between the bones right there.
Even if I don't do much damage, I stab him or I break his arm, whatever. Historically, not today. I've taken him out of the fight. You're not going to keep fighting with your bones separated and a hole in your wrist. You have other things to think about. And in these kinds of fights, it's very important to remember that you're not necessarily trying to cut bits and pieces off. Because if you are, you're swinging too hard. This actually goes back to something we were talking about after Saturday's class.
Yeah.
We did a year or two ago a test of a sharp sword against a shield. We did 2 tests. In both of those tests, I was wearing this mail armor right back here. Gorget and mask. So I had my full face covered. He was swinging a sharp sword at me, not at my shield, at me. And on the first one, I had a shinai so that when it locked in my shield, I could just hit him with my shinai. No big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him what happened, how you felt.
The moment that he was armed there, so the second one we tested with that there, the moment he was armed with that there, I was not swinging with all the power I can manage because I was afraid of his counter attack ability. So if I swung with everything that I had at him there and he defended or I missed, I was wide open for him to have as much time as he wanted to choose what he wanted to target or what I offered.
I can get a cup of coffee and still hit him.
Yep.
So if you throw that much power in a fight when the target can hit back, you leave yourself exposed to his counteraction. So you're not throwing everything you got in that movement. You're very controlled in how you do it. So that means when, go and do that pulsativa again.
Yeah.
Let's do it slightly out of distance.
Okay.
Not that far out of distance. Don't move.
I'll see.
I'm going to go straight down the center.
Got it.
Don't move. So that's our distance.
Mm-hmm.
That same distance, I want you to just bat it out of the way like you're trying to send it out of the park. You're Babe Ruth.
Got it.
Ready? Please don't hit my computer.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
I don't even need to go to half sword at that point because he made everything work for me. But now, let's do it again.
I threw myself at the computer.
Let's do it again, but let's do it as if you would do it for real.
Got it.
Checking measure, and I'm going to be out of distance again. Ready?
Ready.
So there's my distance. You can see how much space is between us for safety. At speed, but do it legitimately.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Ready.
If I just try to go in, I'm going to get hit in the side of his head by his point because he's lined up for his next action, which is why to make this action half sorting is safer for me. Let's do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Same speed, same distance.
Got it.
Checking measure. Same speed. Ready?
Yes, ready.
Look how I'm able to use my sword to protect myself, and I can still drive right into his wrist. Come.
I'm coming.
Look where I'm putting my point. I'm driving it down and hooking him. There's no way he's going to get out of that.
Oh.
In modern like bouncers and things, they have an action called a come along, which is where you bend their wrist, you hook their elbow up, sometimes into your own chest, and you walk them out of the bar. Come along, we're going to leave. This is a medieval come along. Stick your point through their wrist, they will go where you want them to go. So in this action, the guards we've used are woman's guard, falcone. We started towards short guard, but I didn't commit my point. Then I moved to upper serpent. Then I moved to true cross. Let's do it. Let's switch sides and do it that same way, out of distance, at speed.
Yes, sir.
Checking measure. Are you comfortable with that?
I am comfortable with that.
Okay. At speed. Ready?
Ready.
And legitimately.
Legit. Yes, sir.
Ready?
Ready.
And again, it's just right there. And I don't need to think about it. Now, this time I did move straight forward. And that was me unconsciously compensating for being out of distance. Let's do it again. Out of distance. Checking measure. Because I'm trying to lay my point on him. But when you're doing something like this out of distance, you don't need to lay it on because we're looking at the technique, not the result. So at speed.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Ready.
And there it is. And look at this position here. And I'm in true cross. Not only did I hook his wrist, let's say he lets go because he's smart, I take his hand with me, and then I still break his jaw. It's a win-win. Win for me.
I'm just going to go to sleep right there.
Tell us what you felt with that.
In that position? That's the cool stuff. So the first part of it all there is when I'm cutting through, I'm trying to line up everything for my return, right? So when I'm going to my pulsativa.
Let's do it again. You're going to be successful on that.
Okay.
In distance, slow.
Yes, sir.
Checking measure, I'm going to be on this side.
Perfect.
Ready?
Ready.
Cool. You're going to be successful.
Yeah. So I'm aiming to hit his point aside. I'm going just outside his shoulder here, so that when I follow through, I'm just going to walk past him, and I'm going to bring my point right back.
He's going to Van Gogh me, and my ear's going to Van Wint.
And again, this lines me up here to turn, make sure.
But I've seen him move. I know he likes to move like that. So I'm going to take advantage of his movement. Checking measure to this side.
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, go ahead and do your action again.
So he takes away my point.
And there's that hook.
So I'm aiming for a target I believe is going to be in space at the time I'm going to reach it. He refuses to put his point there.
And I let him go past me.
Just lets it go by. He doesn't need to do anything else. In his rollout, I don't have the time to try and retract my hand before his point reaches my wrist.
Why not?
Because I'm still stopping.
Yeah.
I haven't finished moving yet.
We have another video on this channel on beats of time in the fight. Watch that to understand what we're talking about, beats and still having to stop. Looks like we might have another question. Oh, Van gone. Yes. So we're incorporating beats of time, and I'm stealing his time because that's how I win the fight. Not by being faster than him, but by stealing time. And if you have somebody that focuses on speed and speed alone, that's a lie because he went fast. But I gave him nothing to interact with, so his speed was useless.
And to top that off, I actually don't have anything to bounce off of, which would have been his sword, which would help me stop, so I have time to do something else. Now I have to stop everything myself. Which
takes us into Newtonian physics. An object in motion stays in motion until acted upon by another object. That other object is his shoulders this time, because he muscled the stop, which is slow and puts him out of place and breaks his structure. Oh, I didn't even need to do it to start off with. He did it for me.
Yep.
Because I understood how he was going to move. With that, we're going to Van Gogh. I hope you enjoyed this class. John, thank you very much.
You're
we
very
need to
welcome,
switch sides. Thank you very much for spending time with us today. I hope that looking at, with this video, you could see the use of upper serpent and true cross. It's always fun to do half sword, and it's one of the things I really enjoy. Like tomahawk, it lets me get in up close and personal, which is one of the reasons I like the Italian system. So with that, thank you for joining us. Stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you on the other side. Until then, all the best to you and your family. Boom.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, bye, Mike. Bye, everyone.
See y'all.
How's your wrist?